We've already seen that the 4-6 profile, that this is the opportunistic role model. Again, these keynotings that I give to profiles, this is all rooted in the lines of the 10th gate, the gate of behavior. So this is an opportunistic role model. And I've talked about it being a voyeur. I've talked about how this is the completion of the right angle process, that for them it's very important to have connections in life, to be able to know many people, to be able to integrate at the fourth line basis. Remember, the more social a fourth line can be, the more possibility there lies for them to fulfill themselves, because it's out of their social interaction that opportunity comes into their life. And again, we have a 6th line unconscious theme, and we know that the 6th line goes through its 3 specific phases. We know that the first part of this life is going to be chaotic. You know, again, the playboy in that early part of the life, all kinds of liaisons. And then between the end of the Saturn cycle and the beginning of the Chiron, that 20-year, 21-year period in between, that you have somebody who's going up into a stage of aloofness where they are just leaving. You know, right now, Charles was born in 1948, so Charles has just had his Chiron return within the last 6 months. In other words, this is somebody who's going to be coming down off of the roof whether they like it or not. And that period of aloofness, that period where they get their authority, that period where they leave behind the chaos of the first 28 years, now they get pulled back down into the world. And of course have to come back down as a role model, as an example. So here you have 2 members of diverse families in the European hierarchy, and you have these classic 4-6s. You know, the voyeur leader overlooking everything that's going on, you know, aloof from all of that, yet able through the 4th line personality to be social, to be communal, to be able to integrate with others. No, this is not coincidence. I mean, it's not coincidence. You know, we're talking about genes. I mean, you're only royal through your genes. You know, they're royalty genes as opposed to designer genes. You get there through them. And there's going to be genetic connections, and there's going to be the ability to be able to look at that and see that that's an archetype of what the 4-6 is about. I mean, that's all you're looking at. You know, you're looking at an archetype of a male 4-6. And you can see what that genetic material can lead